Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved and loved Star Wars Dad, Nooch Too Good, and as we come to the end of another round of Conquest and come to the beginning of a new round of Proving Grounds, the question should be asked and must be asked and will be asked on my roster today. Which Zetas and Omicrons do you need and not need on each one of these Proving Grounds and Conquest characters in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes? We're going to look through that today. We're going to take a look at each character, and what you're going to notice is that I need the advice too, because I have not leveled up many of these Proving Grounds and Conquest characters in the game. So let's go take a look here first at the events. I'm recording this the day before. We're actually recording this on stream. If you want to watch me record a video, join stream sometimes. So there's your Proving Grounds opening up soon. Actually, 19 minutes if you bought the Conquest Pass. You got 19 minutes till it opens up. We need to turn off the alert box while we do this. Thank you. We're leaving that in, baby. Anyway, so here we are. The great one is gifting memberships in the... I love it, buddy. I love it. We're making it green. We can leave this in this. We can leave this in the video. So, Conquest and Proving Grounds. Conquest coming to an end. Proving Grounds is opening. Which of these characters need Zetas? What Zetas do they need? What Omicrons do they need? What's going on? Let's take a look at these, and let's start right here with Commander Ahsoka. And I'll tell you guys, I'm going to have to use. I'm gonna have to use SWGOH.GG because I'm not even sure with some of these characters. The ones I've already upgraded. Yeah, the ones that already got upgraded, I don't even know where their Zetas and stuff fall. So let's open up Commander Ahsoka. It should be noted that Commander Ahsoka does not have any Omicrons. The first couple of Conquest characters did not have any Omicrons on them. So that should be noted on her. All right, so the first Zeta is Sheen. Let's take a look at the upgrades here. What Sheen does is, whenever this unit evades or attacks on a turn, her Force Sleep cooldown is reduced by 1 and damage is reduced by 50%, stacking till the next time it's used. So she's reducing the cooldowns on her Force Sleep, which is her insta-kill, right? And what do we do with the Zeta here? Sheen duration increased by 2, so she keeps Sheen on her longer, therefore keeping her opportunity to reduce her cooldowns on Force Sleep longer. And yes, we want that Zeta on Commander Ahsoka. Look at the Zetas here on Force Sleep. We know that this just basically instantly defeats target enemy the first time you use it. Then after that, it's assigning armor shred. That's what's doing after that. What's our Zeta on this? The first time Force Sleep is used during an encounter, instantly defeat target enemy in each light side ally against 35% turn meter. So, Commander Ahsoka, you need both Zetas on Commander Ahsoka. But before we do that, my chat has just informed me that Ahsoka has 3 Zetas. Let's look at I know what I'm doing. Hey, you know that I know that you know that I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, the third Zeta is for her own path. Ahsoka has plus 50% offense and critical damage. If another light side allied force user, Galactic Republic, or Scoundrel is present, she also has plus 50% health and defense and shares all these bonuses with her light side allies. I'm gonna guess the Zeta is sharing it all, right? If their light side is available, force user, unlike Ufu, Galactic Republic, or Scoundrels is present, she gains 50%. Okay, yeah, huge. She needs all 3 Zetas. She needs all 3 Zetas. If I'm going to put them in order, I probably would put this one first. If you have Jedi Master Kenobi, maybe the Force Sleep is first, and this one's second, and then the last one will be Sheen. So I'd probably would do Force Sleep first if you have Jedi Master Kenobi. If you don't have Jedi Master Kenobi yet, I would do her own path first, and then Force Sleep, and then Sheen after that. Next, let's take a look at Maul, and we're gonna go in order of release here. Now, I've got Maul, you can see on my roster, and why this is gonna be a good exercise for me, I don't have Maul upgraded yet. So what are his Zetas? And again, Maul, no Omicrons. Maul and Commander Ahsoka, first 2 Conquest characters, no Omicrons in these characters. Let's turn our sights to SWGOH.GG. All right, so here we are on Maul, and I'm definitely gonna keep that in the order it happens. So I think we got 3 Zetas here as well, right? Yes, 3 Zetas on Maul. Okay, so first Zeta, Fervent Rush. This ability dispel all buffs on the target enemy, deal physical damage, and inflict offense down for 2 turns. This attack deals 5% more damage for each buff dispelled. Maul gains 2 stacks of anguish. I think the anguish is going to be the Zeta. If the enemy was defeated by this attack, Maul gains the maximum stacks of anguish. That's pretty good, because with his maximum stacks, can I reduce this, by the way? It doesn't look like I can. With his maximum stacks of anguish, he could do this 5 times, right? Deal true damage, target enemy, inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. If Maul has 5 anguish, increase target enemy's cooldowns by 2. Maul loses 1 stack of anguish and takes a bonus turn. So you're doing this 5 times, right? At 60% more damage every single time. And increase by an additional 60% until you use a different. So it's like 120%. Just crazy, crazy damage. What's the Zeta on that? What's the Zeta here? The Zeta is if Maul has 5 anguish, increase target enemies cooldowns by 2, excludes raid bosses and galactic legends. I think that's gonna be the last one. Like, that's nice to reduce their cooldowns, but really the big part of this ability is the damage it's doing. So let's take a look at this final one here on Bound by Hatred. Maul's attacks can't be evaded. He has 15% offense. At the start of battle, he gains Frenzy Retribution for 2 turns and 3 stacks of Anguish. If there's an enemy Kenobi, Maul instead gains the maximum stacks of Anguish. While he has 3 or more stacks, he's immune to stun ability block. While he has 5 Anguish, he ignores taunt effects and is always critically hit, which gives him stacks of Anguish. While Maul has 3 or more Anguish, he's immune to stun and ability block. And while he has 5 stacks, he ignores taunt effects. I'm saying I'm going to put him in this order. That's going to be number 2. Yep. So number 1 is this right here. Is it? No. Hold on. Are any of these number 1? If they were defeated, Maul gains the maximum stats of Anguish. If he has 5 Anguish, increase target enemy's cooldowns by 2. While Maul has 3 or more Anguish, he's immune to stun. I think this is the most important one. I gotta be honest. Chat maybe will tell me I'm wrong, but I think you're gonna get a lot of value out of Maul without his Zetas. I think those are all nice to haves. This one's very nice to have. If he has 5 Anguish increaser, I mean, that's only gonna work once every time he uses it, because then you have 4 Anguish after you use it once. If they were defeated, he gains the maximum stacks. I gotta say, and that's on his AOE. I gotta say, guys, I think you'll get a lot. I think you can get use out of Maul without any Zetas on it. But if I gotta order him, I'm gonna say this one first, the one where you defeat him and he gets more Anguish, and then this one third. Wow, that's interesting. Next, we turn our sights to Boba Fett, Scion of Jango. As you can see, I don't have him upgraded. He is probably... Him and Trench are probably the 2 last Proving Grounds characters to upgrade on your roster. They just aren't all that exciting no matter how you put them together. But let's take a look at his kit. I'm going to go over to SWGOH.gg again. We'll take a look at those Zetas. And I know that all of his Omegas, he was the first, or Omicrons, he was the first Proving Grounds character with Omicrons, but they're all for Territory Wars. All right, Boba Fett, Scion of Jango. There's a Omega. There's an Omicron. Let's open this one up. So on this one, deal physical damage to target enemy, the weakest enemy. This ability has additional effects based on the number of stacks of momentum he has. 5 stacks, all how about our scout always gain tenacity up. 9 stacks, they all gain tenacity. Tenacity up is, anyway. Gain 1 stack of momentum for 3 turns if this target is inflicted while in Territory Wars. This ability gains a new benefit based on the number of stacks. So if he has more stacks, you get more stuff out of it in Territory Wars. And there's no Zeta here, just the Omicron, all right? There's another Omicron. Is this one gonna have a... Wow, it's just an Omicron. This is just... So, I gotta tell you guys, I think there's so many other Territory Wars Omicrons that are gonna be really good on your roster. So when you combine, like, you put Grievous's, you know, well, not Grievous, but Droideca's Omicron, you put... Poggle's Omicron, you think of Hera's Omicron. I'm trying to think of others. Our Great Mothers, they have an Omicron. I think there's an Omicron or 2 on Galactic Legend Ahsoka's team. And you got to upgrade. I don't think this is even really great for Territory Wars, honestly. Dangerous Reputation. Bounty Hunter or Scoundrel allies have plus 50% critical avoidance while they have tenacity up. While see... it's a very defensive set of abilities. While debuffed, they gain 40% critical damage. he said defense. While he's in the leader slot, this is the contract. While in territory orders, bounty hunter scoundrel allies have plus 30 speed, 50 mastery, 50% mastery, 30% potency, max health, max protection, take 18% less damage. Boba Fett, Scion, Jango gives additional 60 speed, 100% max health protection while buffed. That I can see being useful. What is it here? I think I can see that one being useful. Like, what if you... No, because Zam's Omicron is just Grand Arena, right? So I can see this having some use. Here's a Zeta and an Omicron. Boba Fett, Scion, Jango has plus 50% offense at the start of the encounter. Boba Fett, Scion, Jango gains bounty hunters resolved, as you would expect. Whenever he gains a stack of momentum, he gains 5% turn meter. Whenever he scores a critical hit, he gains a stack of momentum. If he uses the same special ability 3 turns in a row, that ability becomes blocked for 1 turn. Whenever he scores a critical hit, he gains a stack of momentum for... It's just not a good kit. Boba Fett's immune to enemy ability block is some. Whenever he defeats an enemy, he recovers 100% protection and gains bounty hunters resolved until he's defeated. Double action. 1 Zeta? He's only got 1 Zeta. I don't think you should invest in any of these Omicrons. If you want to invest in one of them, I do the leader one. It just doesn't get me very excited. But Boba Fett, Scion, Jango does not get me excited. But while I am not excited about Boba Fett, Scion, Jango, I'm super duper excited about Darth Malgus. Dark Lord of the Sith, transforming your Sith Empire into beast mode, piloting the Fury class interceptor, which is needed for Leviathan. Darth Malgus is something to be excited about. And on Darth Malgus's kit, we will see 2 Zetas and 3 Omicrons. Let's look at every single one of these. So, Unfettered Rage, deal physical damage to target enemy with a 50% chance to attack again, doubled if it's a Jedi, meaning you attack again if it's a Jedi. On the second attack, Darth Malgus gains 20% max health, stacking max 100% until the end of the encounter. These attacks cannot be countered or evaded. Sith Empire allies gain critical damage up for 2 turns. What's the Zeta here? On the second attack, Darth Malgus gains 20%. Yeah, you need this one. That's a good Zeta. Stacking up his health is a good thing. He gets modded for health. He's your tank. You want to stack up his health. I do like that. I like that. Let's look at this Omicron here. Deal for deprived senses. Deal physical damage to target enemy. Inflict blind and shock for 2 turns. If the target was already shocked, shock all enemies for 2 turns and inflict ability block on the target enemy for 2 turns. Darth Malgus taunts for 2 turns. While in Grand Arenas, debuffs inflicted by this ability can't be resisted, and Sith Empire allies gain critical chance up for 2 turns. If the target was already shocked, deal true damage to all other enemies, and Darth Malgus gains 50% turn meter. I like that one too. Next, Zeta, Dark Deception. Deal true damage to target enemy equal to 40% of Darth Malgus max health. See, that's where if you stack in your max health, you do more damage with this, right? And inflict doubt on them for 2 turns. If Darth Malgus is in the leader slot, not the ally slot, this doubt can't be resisted. Increase target enemies' cooldowns by 1, which can't be resisted. Annoying. Darth Malgus gains protection up and additional protection up for each debuff. Can't gain bonus turn meter or buffs or recover protection. That is doubt. Now, what's the Zeta? Deal true. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. Deal true damage. Yes, that's a great Zeta. That's out of the 2. This is more important. The other one is second. Okay. Let's see here. Sith Empire allies are immune to turn. This is an Omicron. Okay. Sith Empire allies are immune to turn meter reduction for each Sith Empire ally at the start of battle, excluding summoned allies. Sith Empire allies have 10% critical chance and max health and speed. The first time any other ally falls below 50% health at the end of that turn, all enemies are inflicted with fear for 1 turn. Right. Whenever doubt expires, they all gain a stack of We Have Returned, which is plus 5% critical damage and offense per stack. While in Grand Arenas, Sith Empire allies have plus 50% mastery, 30 speed, 80% critical avoidance, and I'm already there. So, the leader, Omicron, that's required. That's what we're doing here. So yes, so that's going to be required there. So right now, this Omicron is first, this Zeta is first, this Omicron is second, and this Zeta is second. Okay, let's look at that last Omicron here. Chat's talking about it right now. Korriban's Legacy. At the start of the battle, Darth Malgus gains 5% max health and max protection for each other's Sith ally. Was that Sith before or Sith Empire? Sith Empire before. Wait. I was looking at the wrong thing. I don't know. Okay, at the start of the battle, right? Okay. And 10% max health protection for each other's Sith Empire ally. You want Sith Empire in there. Darth Malgus takes reduced damage from percent health. You want 15% for a Sith and a Sith Empire. He takes reduced damage from percent health damage effects, is immune to healing immunity, and while debuff gains 10% defense and Hell's Steel. While he's in taunting, he gets 60% counter chance, 20% defense, and minus 20% tenacity. If all allies were Sith, at the start of each encounter, Darth Malgus taunts for 2 turns. Whenever doubt expires, that enemy is afflicted with fear for 1 turn. The first time each turn doubt is dispelled, 2 random enemies who didn't already have it are inflicted with doubt for 2 turns. If all allies were Sith at the start of the battle, instead each turn doubt is dispelled, all other enemies didn't already have it are afflicted with doubt for 2 turns at the end of that turn, which can't be resisted. People are saying that this is pointless in 3v3. People are saying this is pointless in 3v3. It's only a 5v5 since he already done. So he's in 3v3s, he's already inflicting doubt on the entire team with your previous one. Okay, so this is probably going to be your last Omicron. And I think a lot of people don't do it. This is the one you can leave off if you need to on Darth Malgus. So, hey, love Darth Malgus. There's your kid. He's super awesome. Everybody loves Darth Malgus. And coming up next, Ben Solo, Rey's lifter extraordinaire. He's good. He does a good job. I don't have him with my Rey. I could use him. I kind of look at him as like, he's okay. If you want to look at a real lifter for Rey, I mean, Ezra Exile is going to be your guy. But let's look at his kit and see which Zetas and Omicrons you need and don't need. And as we continue to ramp up the expensive nature of, this is our first Conquest / Privy Grounds character that needs 3 Zetas and 3 Omicrons. Obscure, deal special damage to target enemy, remove 100% turn meter. If there's any version of Rey in the allied leader slot, blind the target enemy for 2 turns, gain offense up for 2 turns. That's fine. The Omicron, while in Grand Arenas, if all allies were light side at the start of the battle, when this ability is used, Ben Solo's cooldowns are reduced by 1. If Galactic Legend Rey's in the leader slot, this attack instead deals true damage and inflicts healing immunity for 4 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. Now, the question for me on this is, are you dependent on Ben Solo to do damage on your Rey team? My initial answer is not really. So I think this is probably going to be an optional Omicron here. Because usually, Ben is just there to annoy you and keep reviving so that you can't kill Rey is his primary function. First, Zeta, Family Legacy. Deal special damage to target enemy, inflict armor shred to the end of the encounter if all allies are light side. Dispel all buffs from all enemies and deal true damage again to all enemies. All allies gain 5% turn meter for each enemy damaged by this ability. If this ability defeats an enemy, Ben Solo gains 10% offense, and all our light side allies gain 5% offense. If all allies, the Zeta is if all allies are light side, dispel all buffs from all enemies, and just dealing damage again instead deal. So here's my thing again. The way that I usually deal with when we don't have Ezra Exile on the team, the way I deal with the Rey team is I bring in Starkiller and I stun lock Ben Solo. So I think the Zeta kind of goes in with that first Omicron where it's kind of optional. Because if you're just keeping him stun locked, what does his damage really matter? You know, so, okay, if he ever gets to use that ability, I guess that'd be okay. Redeemed. At the start of the battle, if all Ben Solo's allies are light side and there's any version of Rey in the allied leader slot, Ben Solo gains 15% max health and 10 speed for each light side ally. Ben Solo ignores taunt effects during his turn. That's a Zeta and an Omicron. While in Grand Arena, his attacks ignore protection. I'm gonna go there again. Ignores taunt effects and ignores protection. I would probably place this above the other 2 ones because it applies to everything. It's not specific to one specific ability. But again, unless you're using him on offense, this may never get used. Forced Dyad, this is where we want to be. If all allies were live side at the start of battle and there is any version of Rey in the leader slot, all allies gain instant defeat immunity for 1 turn at the start of each encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. While Ben Solo is active, Rey can't be defeated. Ben Solo can't be defeated while Rey is above 50% health. While in Grand Arenas, if Galactic Legend Rey is the allied leader slot, if the enemy in the leader slot begins their turn with Ben Solo defeated and Ben still has an active ally, he revives with 51% health and all allies gain instant defeat immunity for the rest of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. The Zeta is, he can't be defeated while she's above 50% health. And instant defeat immunity. And the Omicron, this is where you're living. This is where you want to live, right here. So far, this is encouraging for me, and maybe this makes me want to do Ben Solo a little sooner. So far, I think you can get away with 1 Zeta and 1 Omicron on Ben Solo until you have some extra ones down the road. I'm telling you, I stun lock the guy. He never gets a turn when I face him on defense unless Ezra Exile. So this is where you want to be. This is required. This Zeta, this Omicron is required. Yep. The other ones, optional. Completely optional. And speaking of optional, let's talk about Admiral Trench right now. Again, another character I've not upgraded. My Separatists really do not have a lot of work done on them on my roster. My Grievous team isn't really ready to go. My Separatists aren't doing much. I really don't have a lot of use for Admiral Trench. Even when you have Separatists, he's not a very exciting character, but let's look at that kit in those Zetas and Omicrons. And once again, setting future precedent, Admiral Trench has 3 Omicrons and 3 Zetas. Again, I'm not super excited about Admiral Trench. I think if you're gonna do all this stuff, I think it's at the end of the game with Boba Fett signed to Jango, Admiral Trench, just when you get to the end of the game, then you can do this stuff, but we'll take a look at it anyway. His basic, unfinished business, deals special damage to target enemies, shock them for 2 turns. If they were already shocked, stun them. During his turn, allies with tactical supremacy gain a heal over time and a protection over time. During territory wars, not Grand Arena, during his turn, inflict ability block for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled or resisted, reduce their critical damage by 20%, stacking. If target enemy was already debuffed, remove 50% turn meter, non-droid separatist allies recover 30% health protection. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, net positive. Dispel buffs, deal special damage to target enemy, inflict stagger for 2 turns. While other non-droids, you're getting the picture here. This is for your non-droid separatists. Non-droid separatist allies gain tactical supremacy, which can't be copied. Trench gains protection up for 2 turns. Other separatist allies gain protection up for 2 turns. Tactical supremacy plus 30% critical damage and potency. Recover 10% protection at the start of the turn. If dispelled, recover 40% health and gain advantage. Fine. The Zeta is non-droid separatist allies gain tactical supremacy. Trench, so it's the whole thing. The entire ability, if you're gonna use him, if you're gonna use Trench, you gotta have this, it's the whole thing. This entire ability is non-existent without that Zeta. So keep that in mind. All right. Fear Tactician Leader. This is probably, if you're gonna use him, this is probably where we're gonna be. Separatist allies have 30% max health, protection, potency, and they have 10% speed for each ally with tech, and each enemy with extortion. That's actually kind of cool. You can get some extortion spread around. Whenever a Separatist ally inflicts a debuff on an enemy, they gain 20% offense. While a Separatist ally has a tech, they gain 100% potency. When a non-Geo Separatist ally gains Bactoid Shield Generator tech, they dispel stealth. While they have Bactoid Shield Generator, they're immune to stealth and gain 100% critical avoidance and defense. While the Separatist ally has a heal over time, they can counter. While in Territory Wars, non-droid Separatist allies have plus 50% mastery, plus 75% max health and protection. Separatist allies with tech can't have their turn meter reduced. Enemies with extortion will be critically hit if able. Whenever an enemy dispels a debuff, they gain 10% turn meter. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, if you're in Territory Wars and if you're getting Trench upgraded, that's okay. I guess that's okay. That's good. While in Territory Wars, so this is the one. If you want to get to this Omicron in Territory Wars, you got to apply the Zeta. Altogether, it's probably pretty good in Territory Wars. I haven't tried it out. I haven't seen too many Separatist teams on defense either. Am I crazy there? I don't think I've seen too many Separatist teams on defense. I smell fear and it feels good. Zeta and Omicron. At the start of the battle, he loses 50% max health and gains that much max protection. While he's active, Separatist allies have plus 50% potency. At the start of his turn, he gains a protection over time. That's exciting. While he's protection up, he's immune to buff immunity and healing immunity. First time each enemy loses all protection at the end of the turn, they are feared. Whenever another non-droid separatist ally is damaged by an attack, it gains 50% chance and 100% turn meter. While in territory wars, whenever an enemy resists the debuff from a separatist ally, they lose 10% critical damage stacking and 10% tenacity. Stacking for 3 turns. First time his health is reduced by 75%. He recovers 100% health and gains foresight protection up. I'm just not excited about this. If you're going to use him, go with his leader, and then go with this one, and then do the other ones. There's your Trench. I don't know, man. It just doesn't get me wound up, you know? Taron Malicos is someone that I probably should get wound up about. You put him on an UFU team. He's beating Galactic Legends. He's making you use big giant teams to kill him in Grand Arena. I like Taron Malicos. Let's take a look at his Zetas and Omicrons. All right, Taron Malicos. Again, 3 Zetas, 3 Omicrons. Vile Thrash, deal physical damage, gain riposte for 2 turns. This attack has plus 30% defense penetration, quadrupled if all allies are dark side or light side unlined force user. All right, sir. If Malicos has at least 20 stacks of Edge of Madness, he takes a bonus turn for every 20 stacks he has. Dispel them and gain a stack of Madness manifested until the next time he uses Die Whelp. Whelp is defeated or at the end of the encounter. Now you know why I don't read kits, guys. Which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. If the leader is a UFU, cooldown of Die Whelp is reset. Madness manifested, minus 40% tenacity per stack. Next time his character uses Die Whelp, it deals 50% more physical damage per stack, reduces the current max health of the target enemy by 15%. My brain's fading. Okay. The Zeta says, when Edge of Madness is dispelled, if the ally in the leader slot is an UFU, reset the cooldown of Die Whelp. Let's look at Die Whelp right now. Die Whelp. Die Whelp. Deal physical damage and inflict vulnerable to all enemies and stun target enemy for 1 turn. If the target had defense down, the stun can't be resisted. If the target enemy is in the leader slot, increase their cooldowns by 1, which can't be resisted. While in Grand Arena, deal additional true damage to all enemies and inflict buff immunity and healing immunity on target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. If the ally lead in the leader slot is a dark side, is an UFU, he gains 20% critical damage on offense till the end of the battle. 6-turn cooldown. I'd say that those two work pretty well in concert. Echo of the Fallen Order. All allies have plus 30% critical chance. If all allies were UFUs at the start of battle, while he has at least 1 stack of Edge of Madness whenever he scores a critical hit, all their allies gain 5% critical damage on offense stacking until the end of the encounter. Whenever an ally is inflicted with healing immunity, they dispel it and gain damage immunity for 1 turn. That stuff is so goofy, but whatever. Whenever they are inflicted with, I get it, it's better. They get healing immunity, I get it, it's better. It's just a weird, very specific call out. Whenever they're inflicted with stun, they dispel it and recover 30% health and protection. Thank you. While in Grand Arenas, enemies defeated by this can't be revived. Enemies defeated by allies, just period. All enemies defeated can't be revived. This effect persists if he's defeated. Oh, that's nice. The first time another dark side or UFU, is reduced to 101% health. If he's active, they recover 100% health protection, gain damage immunity for 1 turn, take a bonus turn. Kill him first. We've always done that. While he's active, whenever an enemy with less than 100% turn meter gains bonus turn meter, he gains a stack of Edge of Madness. Which can't be evaded. Okay, what's the Zeta? What's the, yeah, okay, so everything's in the Zeta and the Omicron. Everything is in the Zeta and the Omicron here. All right, we'll rank these in a minute. Strength is power. Malicos attacks can't be evaded. Enemies defeated by him can't be revived. He has 75% counter chance, 100% health steal. At start of battle, he gains 25% offense for each other UFU. If the ally in the leader side is UFU, Malicos ignores taunt effects. While debuffed, he gains 50% health steal. Whenever he uses an ability, if he has accuracy up or defense up, he immediately uses Dark Strike. That's his basic, right? Yes, okay. Whenever he attacks out of turn, he gains 10% critical damage. Whenever he's inflicted with daze, he dispels it, reduces cooldowns by 1. Whenever an enemy dispels a debuff, Malicos is inflicted. One of his enemies' abilities, he gains a stack of Edge of Madness. At the start of battle, he gains a stack of Edge of Madness. Till the encounter, all online force users gain critical immunity for 2 turns. Can't be dispelled. He has 100% max health mastery. Whenever he uses an ability during his turn, he immediately uses Dark Strike whenever he attacks out of turn. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to call it right now. If you activate Malicos, get all the abilities. If you're going to activate Malicos, get all the abilities. I'm going to say probably the last two would be this one. Vile Thrash and Die Whelp would be your last two. But if you're activating Malicos and you're not sitting on at least 2 Zetas and 2 Omicrons, you're probably wasting your time. So both of his, there's 2 uniques, right? Yeah, both of his uniques need the Zeta and the Omicron, and his Zeta Omicron abilities, you could do those next. So there you go. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, he of the big armor, no waist. That's right. This is the clunkiest looking. I'm not impressed with this costume at all. It just looks so goofy. Anyway, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, another character I've not geared up on my team. Let's go take a look. We're starting to see a pattern. First ability, an Omega. Next ability, Omicron or Zeta. Next ability, Omicron or Zeta. Last 2, leader and or unique, Zeta and Omicron. That's the pattern we're getting into right now. Okay, first Omicron here. By the way, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, my general opinion is I think he is good in Grand Arena. Territory Wars, again, doesn't get me excited. I don't see a lot of him put on defense in Territory Wars unless I'm missing something. I think he's good, but not great. And in the right situation against the right team, he could be really, really good. So, all right, deal physical damage to all enemies. Remove 10% turn meter strategic onslaught for each stack of insight, which can't be evaded. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon loses all stacks of insight. While in Territory Wars, deal additional true damage. Remove additional 10% turn meter for each stack of insight. Inflict all enemies with healing immunity. That seems okay. That seems all right. That's an Omicron for Territory Wars. All right, Unwavering Presence. All allies gain accuracy up and defense up for 3 turns. That's accuracy up will be good for you in Conquest, just to get the feat done. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon gains Taunt for 2 taunts. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon taunts. Why is it capitalized? Are all the buffs and debuffs capitalized? I never noticed that. Huh. I never noticed that. Okay. Which can't be dispelled or prevented, recovers 30% health protection, and calls target other ally to assist. If Dark Trooper Moff Gideon is in the leader slot, defeated Imperial Remnant allies are revived with 100% health protection and stealth for 2 turns. Otherwise, defeated Dark Side Mandalorian allies are revived with 30% health protection and gain retribution for 2 turns. The revive is going to be the defeated Imperial Remnant allies are revived. That's kind of what Dark Trooper Moff Gideon's all about, honestly, is reviving the team while he's taunting. So you really got to have this. Shadow Contingency, the leader ability. Non-droid Imperial Remnant allies have 79% critical chance, damage, offense, and defense. If all allies were Imperial Remnant at the start of the battle, whenever an ally gains or loses turn meter, they recovered that much health protection. Whenever they gain bonus turn meter, they lose 10% defense. Whenever Dark Trooper Moff Gideon uses a special ability, they gain defense and offense. Whenever he takes a bonus turn, they gain 1 stack of insight. Whenever the first time defeated, he gains 100% turn meter. Insight, characters gain additional effects and abilities while in Territory Wars. Non-droid Imperial Remnant allies have 75% health and mastery and 30 speed. Whenever an Imperial Remnant ally taunts, dispel all debuffs from allies and all buffs from enemies. Every Imperial Remnant allies revive, grant them a bonus turn. The bonus turn is nice. The Zeta, if they're all Imperial Remnant, whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter or bonus turn, they lose 10% defense, offense, and turn meter to the end of the... That's okay. I mean, that's gonna counter your turn meter train teams really well, or prevent you from using them here, right? Okay. In Territory Wars, non-droid program, I said that's health and mastery and 30 speed. I'm just not excited about the kit. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Dark Trooper Beskar armor is unique. He has 100% critical avoidance, 50% defense, 30% max health protection. At the end of his turn, he recovers 30% protection whenever he would be defeated. If he has 4 more stacks of insight, he recovers 100% health, loses all stacks of insight, and the weakest non-galactic legend ally is defeated instead. Of course, as Moff Gideon would just take out. Any good Moff would do that. If the allied leader is a dark side Mandalorian, which is him. That's not him. Is he a Mandalorian? Dark side tank. That's it? That's all his tags? Dark side tank, leader, Empire, Imperial Remnant. Not Mandalorian. So, what situation would you be in if the allied leader is a dark side Mandalorian? Like Jango Fett, or he gains offense, Allies recover 20% protection at the end of turn, while in territory wars, Darth Moff getting gains an additional 30% max protection, recovers 100% protection on his first turn. It's fine. It's fine. I don't even know what to tell you here, guys. I'm not excited about this character. If you're just gonna use him in Grand Arena, you're looking at I think this is the most important one. This is the one that kind of makes him go. That's okay. I don't know. I'm just not excited. I don't even know what to tell you guys. Sorry. I'd say this is probably second, and the other one is third. In Territory Wars, I guess when I go with this Omicron, I guess I'd go with his leader stuff last. Is that crazy? Am I crazy to go with his leader stuff last? I just don't like that Zeta. It's a good level of health and mastery, so I guess do these first, do these second, and then do the ones above third. I don't know. It doesn't get me very excited. He didn't get me excited in the show. He doesn't get me excited in the game. But you know who does get me excited? Quite a bit. His name is Darth Bane. He really, really gets me excited. I gotta tell you, probably a little bit too excited. But he really, really gets me excited. This is interesting. Let's look at these Zetas and these Omicrons on Darth Bane, because this is an interesting kid. Once again, 3 Zetas, 3 Omicrons. They split it up a little bit more, and there's one of them in here you're not going to need. So I know that for sure. His basic Soul Sever. Deal physical damage, reduce their offense by 20% stacking. Bane gains 20% offense stacking, which can't be resisted for 2 turns. On a critical hit, gain 2 Siphon. If this attack defeats an enemy, gain an additional 2 Siphon. If the target enemy is above 50% health, this attack will critically hit. If they're below 50% health, this attack deals 200% more damage. Enemies defeated by this attack cannot be revived. The Zeta is going to be the revive, right? Oh, it's more. I like this Zeta. I will say this with Darth Bane. I get that this looks really hot, but you do most of the work with his AoEs. You do most of the work with Bane's AoEs. I'm going to say that. Malevolent Whirlwind. This is an Omicron. Dispel all buffs on all enemies twice, then deal physical damage to all enemies twice. This is one of the abilities. It's AoE that does work. And I mean, not that it works. I mean, it does work. Dealing 10% more damage for each buff dispelled and inflict healing immunity for 2 turns. If the ally in the leader slot is Sith Eternal Emperor, he gains 1% ultimate charge for each enemy who was dealt with. You see what I'm saying here? The Omicron is optional. I'm going to say I applied this because I just was like, boom, 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 go, go, go. And I didn't even look at it. I should not have applied that. Using Bane with Sith Eternal Emperor gives Bane a 2 to 4% improvement on his performance. It gives Sith Eternal about a 20 to 30% improvement on his performance. With that said, why not take Bane out at 97% and take Sith Eternal out at 70% and use them on their own? That's what you should do. So this, I'm just saying, I don't think you should use it. I don't think it's needed. This ability isn't, that part of the ability isn't really useful. That's what I would say there. Essence of Dominance, Omicron. Deal physical damage to all enemies based on Bane's max health and increase their cooldowns by 1, which can't be resisted. Bane siphons max health from target enemy, which can't be resisted. He's such a monster. Sith allies gain defense penetration up, health steal up, offense up, and speed up for 2 turns. Gain a percentage of max health, siphon max health. Gain a percentage of max health equal to this unit's siphon until the end of the encounter and the target loses that much max health. While in Grand Arenas, increase enemy cooldowns by 2 instead of 1. Remove 50% turn meter from all enemies and Sith allies. Gain 50% turn meter. Reduce all enemies' defense and tenacity by 20%, which can't be... Just go! Apply this Omicron now. I don't even care. You may not even have Bane activated. You should still be applying this Omicron. The same will go for the rest of this kit. His leader ability is a Zeta. Sith allies have plus 30% offense and speed. Sith allies can't be revived. Light side enemies have minus 10 speed, doubled for Jedi. At the start of battle, allies gain defense up, evasion up, health up for 2 turns. Whenever a Sith ally is defeated, Bane's cooldowns are reset. He recovers 50% health and gains 50% turn meter while Bane is active at the end of each of his turns. The weakest other Sith ally takes damage equal to 15% of his max health, and Bane gains 5% max health for each other Sith ally for the rest of the battle. The first time each other non-galactic legend Sith ally above 30% health will be reduced to 30% less health. They are granted a bonus turn and defeated at the start of that bonus turn. Then Bane gains 5% max health, max protection, and offense, 5 speed, additional 5% max health. Yes, please. Yes, please. While you're applying that Omicron, before you get Bane activated, apply this Zeta, please. Lights enemies minus 10 speed, double for Jedi. I love the ability. I think that's a nice to have. I think that's just a nice to have. So I'm going to say optional. Optional. So one Omicron you don't need. So far we got one Omicron you don't need. One that you do. Wait. An optional one. What do we got so far? Need. Okay, optional, need. I'm calling this optional. Wasn't even optional. One was you don't need. You get the idea. We know where we are. Okay. Rule of 2. Zeta and Omicron. Bane has 20% critical chance, damage, and health, and 50% health steal. Whenever he's dazed, he gains 10% max health stacking. Whenever an enemy starts their turn, Bane gains 5 speed, max 100 till the end of battle. At the start of battle, there's only one non-summon ally present, and they are Sith. Bane takes reduced damage from percent health damage effects and gains 350% defense. Whenever his other ally gains ultimate charge, they gain an additional 2% ultimate charge. And that's referring to Sith Eternal. Who cares? And the following effects apply. Immune to ability block, cooldown increase, healing immunity, stun, turn meter reduction, gain 75% max health, gain 75% max protection. Until the first time they're defeated, ignore taunt. At the start of their turn, recover 35% protection to dispel all debuffs. When that's like Watt's tech. When Bane or other allies defeated, the reigning ally gains 5% critical damage, offense, and potency, plus additional 50% of these stats per defeated character's relic amplifier level to the end of battle while in grand arenas. At the start of the battle, there's only one other non-summon ally present, and they are Sith. Bane gains 75% mastery, health, and protection. Whenever an enemy is defeated, he gains 10% max health protection. It's monster. He's a monster. If you don't do anything else, apply this Zeta and Omicron. You need those, okay? This one's optional. Nice to have. This one you need. That's gonna be second. That's your second one, Omicron. That Omicron, you don't need because it's only if Sith Eternal's on the team. And this one is okay, but I still think it's optional or nice to have. It's that last one. It's that unique one. There you go. Darth Bane's a monster. Yeah, this video is gonna be long. This will be a long video. This will be a long video tomorrow. Queen Amidala is known for crushing skulls and breaking blockades and getting her handmaidens killed. Let's take a look at her kit and see what Zetas and Omicrons we need. Queen Amidala, I'm just going to assume 3 Zetas and Omicrons. I didn't even look this time. There's her first Omicron. I am Queen Amidala. Or, excuse me, I am Queen Amidala. That's how we say it. Dispel all buffs and all enemies, deal physical damage to them. All allies gain accuracy up for 2 turns. Okay. If there's an active handmaiden decoy, stagger target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. All Galactic Republic allies gain defense penetration up, 3 stacks heal over time, and protection over time for 2 turns. The Omicron in Grand Arenas and no Galactic Legends. This attack ignores enemy protection, and all allies gain critical damage up and 4 stacks of heal over time and protection over time for 2 turns. All enemies are inflicted with a stack of damage over time for each active Galactic Republic ally for 2 turns. Can't be resisted. Speed down. Vulnerable. And their cooldowns are increased by 1. Can't be resisted, none of it. Yes, please. You need it. You need it. I have a feeling it's going to be another, you got to have all 3 of them or just go away. My place is with my people, Zeta Omicron. All allies have 20% defense and 15% max health protection at the start of the battle. Again, all Galactic Republic, no Galactic Legend allies. That means you can't put Jedi Master Kenobi on our team. That's what they're saying. Whenever an enemy attacks out of turn, they're inflicted with damage over time for 1 turn. which can't be evaded or resisted, and remove 10% turn meter from all enemies which can't be resisted. At the start of each ally's turn, they gain 3% critical damage for each stack of heal over time they have, and 3% offense for each stack of protection over time they have, till the end of their turn. Whenever an enemy is critically hits an ally, that enemy has minus 5% critical damage, defense, offense, stacking minus 50% till the end of the encounter, which can't be resisted. While in Grand Arenas, whenever an ally uses a special ability, they gain bonuses. Attackers gain offense up for 2 turns and call another random ally to assist, dealing 20% more damage. Healers and sports gain protection up and speed up for 3 turns, and tanks recover 25% health and protection. Zeta is whenever an enemy critically hits an ally, enemy is 5%, minus 5%. Yep. I'm gonna bet this is probably the last set we're gonna do, but you're gonna need this. You're gonna need. She only has 2 Zetas, huh? Looks like 2 Zetas to me. All right, last here, Loyal Bodyguard. Queen Amidala's 20% max health protection, 10% critical chance and damage, and all allies are immune to cooldown manipulation. Whenever an ally handmaiden decoy is summoned, she taunts until she is defeated, which can't be dispelled or prevented. She is immune to all their buffs, debuffs, healing and protection recovery, and she doesn't take turns. Whenever she's defeated by an enemy, the enemy who defeated her is inflicted with doubt for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted, and Queen Amidala gains a bonus term and damage immunity, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. If there's an active ally handmaiden decoy, whenever heal over time expires, or protection over time, they recover 5% health protection. Whenever heal over time, protection over time expiring Queen Amidala, she gains a stack of Queen's protection, max 10, which can't be copied, dispelled, blah, 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 blah. For each stack of Queen's protection, all their Galactic Republic allies gain double those stats. The allied handmaiden decoy is immune to these effects, and they persist when the decoy is defeated, but are dispelled when Queen Amidala is defeated. Means protection. Max health protection, 5% potency and tenacity, and 5 speed per stack. While in Grand Arenas, if there are no Galactic Legend or Scoundrel allies, all allies gain 25% critical damage, 40% mastery, immune to fear and healing. Whenever an ally is inflicted with damage over time, they dispel it, and all allies gain a stack of healing over time. Yes. I'm gonna say, if you're coming into Queen Amidala, have 2 Zetas and 3 Omicrons ready. You need them. You need them. Was there one that was optional here? Maybe this one's optional. This would be the last one to apply. That Omicron. Have your Zetas and Omicrons ready for Queen Amidala. You're gonna want them, and she's gonna use them. There's Luthen Rael looking grumpy. Man, he's a grumpy looking guy, isn't he? Grumpy looking Swede. Is he a Swede? Uh-oh, I might get in trouble for that. Anyway, Luthen Rael is there for our Rebel fighters. Let's take a look. Let's assume at least 2 Zetas and 3 Omicrons for Luthen Rael. There is an Omicron. Tools of my enemy. Deal special damage to target enemy. Inflict healing immunity for 2 turns. Access bonus. During Luthen's turn, inflict buff immunity for 2 turns on the target enemy, which can't be dispelled. If the allied Rebel commander is active, inflict fear for 1 turn on the target enemy. Curator bonus. And these Curator and Axis, which one? One's for Mon Mothma and one's for Saw, right? Which one is which? Axis. Which one is it? I think Curator is going to apply to Mon Mothma, right? No, that's Saw Gerrera. No, I don't know. Anyway. While in Grand Arenas, during Luthen's turn, he gains 25 speed, max 100 till the end of the encounter, and the target enemy has their defense reduced by 30% until the next time Luthen uses his basic or until he is defeated. Okay. That's going to be good. Another Omicron here. What do I sacrifice if the allied leader is Rebel and not a Galactic Legend? So we can't do Leia in there. Summon a Rebel Trooper, promote them to Rebel Commander. If the Rebel Commander is already present, dispel all debuffs on them and they gain a bonus turn. Target Rebel Fighter or Mon Mothma ally gains 30% offense. Stacking. I don't know why you'd want Mon Mothma to gain offense, but okay. And is immune to turn, I guess, that's weird. Is immune to turn meter reduction until the end of their next turn. Axis, if the Rebel Commander is already present, they gain 50% offense. That's gotta be Saw. And Curator's gotta be Mon Mothma. If the Rebel Commander is already present, they recover 50% health protection. Target Rebel ally gains Frenzy for 2 turns. While in Grand Arenas, which is what I thought. Saw Gerrera for Axis, Mon Mothma for Curator. While in Grand Arenas, if the Rebel Commander is already present, all allies gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Mon Mothma and all other Rebel Fighter allies gain 30% offense stacking and are immune to turn meter reduction to the end of the next turn. Target Rebel Fighter allies ignores taunt to the end of their next turn. So that's going to be... I would view that as more of a Mon Mothma Omicron. I think this is good for Luthen in general. That's more of a Mon Mothma Omicron. Mon Mothma and all Rebel fighter allies gain speed up and bonus protection for 2 turns with a sunless space. Access bonus, all Rebel fighter allies dispel all debuffs from themselves. For each debuff, they gain 10% turn meter. If the allied Rebel commander is active, inflict marked on them for 2 turns, which can't be. So you want to mark Saw Gerrera or Curator, rally Mon Mothma and all Rebel fighter allies. They all dispel. Okay, so these only work with the Zeta here. So this is probably a Zeta you need to have on there. You need to have that Zeta. Dreams with Ghosts. Mon Mothma and Rebel fighter allies gain 20 speed at the start of each encounter. If the allied leader is Rebel and not a Galactic Legend, summon a Rebel trooper and promote them, yes, while the Rebel commander is active. Did we already do that? I guess he's doing that on different... That's his unique at the start of the encounter. So there's not really going to be a Rebel trooper there because he did this at the start of the encounter. While the Rebel commander is active, he's immune to ability block, cooldown increase, taunt effects, and he can't be targeted or reduced below 100% health. At the start of battle, if there's a Rebel leader and there are no Rebel Galactic Legend allies, if Saw Gerrera is a leader, Luthen gains access, otherwise he gains Curator. Right. Access. Whenever a Rebel trooper is summoned, they gain the expendable asset effect or inflict with mark for 2 turns, can't be copied or dispelled. Whenever a Rebel trooper is defeated, all attacker allies have their cooldowns reset. Nice. Curator bonus, whenever a Rebel trooper begins to turn, Luthen and Mon Mothma gain 20% turn meter. Expendable asset, can't gain stealth, can always be targeted by enemies, lose 70% offense, health and offense. Whenever a Rebel trooper ally uses its basic ability, inflict defense down. Whenever a Rebel trooper uses a special ability, Wand Grinder uses no Rebel Galactic Legend allies, Mon Mothma Rebel fighter allies gain max health, mastery, and speed. First time a Rebel commander is defeated in each battle, summon a Rebel trooper, promote them. I'm just gonna say, there's more. God bless it. No, there's not. Okay, so that's 1 Omicron, 1 Zeta, 2 Omicrons, and 1 Zeta, 3 Omicrons, 3 Omicrons, and 1 Zeta, is that right? 3 Omicrons and 1 Zeta. Yeah, I think this is the last one you apply. But quite honestly, I think if you're going to activate Luthen, this year's your last Omicron. You'll need those 2 other Omicrons and the Zeta, and just apply this one last. But I think you're going to need everything to get maximum usage out of him. You want to get all those Omicrons on him and the Zeta, but this is the last one. Ezra Bridger Exile is here to make your life suck. If he's on defense on a light side, Jedi-laden team, you're in serious trouble, my friend. Let's go take a look at his Zetas and Omicrons. All right, Ezra Bridger Exile, let's take a look here. That's an Omega. Okay, Kanan's Legacy. All allies recover 40% health and protection. Grant all Spectre allies and the target ally protection up. For 2 turns, dispel all debuffs, target other ally attacks, and Ezra Bridger assists, dealing 40% more damage. And they both receive bonuses. Jedi get tenacity up, Unaligned Force user get defense up, Spectre get backup plan. If the target ally is a Jedi, Lightside Ufu, or Spectre, they gain a bonus turn. He's crazy, dude. He's crazy. If the target ally is a Spectre, they gain 100% offense the next turn and will dispel all buffs from the target enemy and blind the target enemy for 2 turns. Ezra gains 2 stacks of Resilient Defense. While in Grand Arenas, Extra gains 25 stacks of Purgil Migration, and all Spectre allies gain backup plan for 2 turns, which can't be copied or dispelled. Where's Purgil Migration gonna be in here? Does it even say? I don't remember if it says in here. I remember something about, like, it wasn't even... When Ezra uses 50 stacks of Purgil Migration, it gains a bonus turn, recovers 100% max health protection. The next enemy damages with an ability is inflicted with Exile for the rest of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled. Purgil Migration also gives plus 1% defense and tenacity. Okay. So, going back up here, let's get rid of that. Going back up here. I'm gonna say it's a must-have if you got a Ahsoka team going. It's probably your last one if you use them on other teams. Daring Advance. Deal physical damage to target enemy 3 times. Inflict healing immunity and offense down for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. For each critical hit, Reduce target's enemy's defense by 30% stacking. This attack gains 10% critical chance for each Spectre ally. If Ezra scores 3 critical hits, the target enemy is stunned for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. While in Grand Arenas, for each critical hit scored, deal 20% bonus damage based on their 10 max health, which can't be evaded. Inflict buff immunity, healing immunity, offense down for 2 turns, can't be copied, dispelled. Reduce the cooldown of Daring Advance by 1. I really opened that up, didn't I? Won't trigger a counterattack. And the Zeta is... if he scores 3 critical hits, they're stunned for 1 turn. And while in Grand Arena, deal 20% damage based on target's max health, can't be evaded. Like buff immunity down. I'm gonna say that's good too. Really good. Really good. I still don't know if it's required. Exile. At the start of battle, all light side allies gain foresight for 2 turns. All Spectre allies gain tenacity up. Ezra is exiled for the rest of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. At the start of his turn, he gains 2 stacks of resilient defense. The first time each ally is exiled, they gain 30% critical chance, 60% defense, and 100% max health protection. The first time each ally loses exile, they gain 30% critical chance, 60 damage, offense, potency, and speed. The first time he is exiled, enemies can't assist or attack again if their attack is targeting Ezra. That's at the beginning of the battle. When Ezra loses exile, when he performs an ability, call a random ally to assist. Ally Spectres have instant defeat immunity while he's active. Exile. Can't attack, gain buffs, or gain other positive effects during another character's turn. Raid bosses and Galactic Legends instead can't gain buffs. And any characters who damage them gain crit damage up and health steal up for 1 turn. While in Grand Arenas, the first time a Spectre ally gains and loses exile, they also gain 5% mastery for relic level in the team. The first time a Spectre ally loses exile, they gain additional 30 speed. So this Omicron is only for Ahsoka teams. So keep that in mind. If you're not using it for Ahsoka yet, you don't need this one yet. This one I think you do want, because I think you need this one. The first time he's exiled, you can't assist or attack again. That drives me nuts. So I think you need that Zeta. The Omicron's just there for Ahsoka teams. The Force is my ally. Ezra has 20% critical chance. Whenever he's inflicted with a debuff, he recovers 25% health. Light-side allies can't have their cooldowns manipulated by enemies. When Ezra uses an ability, he gains 5 stacks of Purgil Migration. When he deals damage to an enemy, he gains 2 stacks of Purgil Migration. If the stack has a critical hit, he instead gains 5 stacks of Purgil Migration. When he reaches 50 stacks, we already took a look at that. Next enemy Ezra damages with an ability, exiled for rest of battle, can't be copied. I think you want that Zeta. I'm trying to put this together here. I'm gonna say you want all these, but if you don't have Ahsoka, you can hold off on this Omicron. If you don't have Spectre, you can, or Ahsoka, you can hold off on that one Omicron, and you can put this Omicron on second. The other Zetas and Omicrons are going to be required out there, and he's going to make a huge difference on your roster. All right, we got 2 left, Darkside Ray, and then we'll take a look at Jocasta Nu, although I'm not sure I'll be able to really assess that yet since we don't have the teams out yet, but we'll take a look. Ray, Darkside Vision. She's really elevating those Kylo teams. Let's go take a look at this. Alrighty, what do we got now? There's an Omega. There's an Omega. Wow, first 2 abilities are just Omegas. That's not so bad. All right. Zeta Omicron, Malevolent Lineage. Deal true damage to all enemies, split among them if all allies are first order, and there's any version of Kylo Ren in the allied leader slot. Shock all enemies for 1 turn. He is called to assist. Then all other non-taunting first order allies not in the leader slot gain stealth for 1 turn. Thank you for helping me survive. If Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is the ally in the leader slot, he gains 5 siphon per enemy. Nice. And 100% defense for 1 turn. While in Grand Arenas, shock can't be dispelled or resisted. Enemies defeated by this ability can't be revived. Remove 100% turn meter from all characters. Enemies with bonus protection, protection up, or shield up, reduce their max health, max protection by 20%. Stacking, excluding Galactic Legends and raid bosses for the rest of the encounter. If there's any version of Kylo Ren in the allied leader slot, all first order allies recover 50% health and protection and gain speed up for 2 turns. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the Zeta here is if all first allies are first orders, any version of Kylo, shock all enemies for 1 turn, and he's called to assist. The next one is Grand Arena. You want both of these. You want both of these. I'm out there. You want both of them. Get them. Don't be afraid of who you are. Rey has plus 25% critical chance and critical damage. Rey's abilities can't be evaded. While Rey has Retaliate, she recovers protection at the end of the turn equal to 100% of the damage she received. While Rey is debuffed, she has 50% speed. If Rey defeats an enemy, all allies defeated by the enemy are revived with 100% health. Whenever an enemy without 100% turn meter gains bonus turn meter, reduce their max protection by 5%. Now I'm just reading and not hearing it. Okay, while in Grand Arenas, if all of the first order allies with Retaliate recover protection at the end of the turn, equal to 100% of the damage they received. Thank you. The protection recovery is so nice. First order allies with advantage ignore taunt effects on their turn. If the ally in the leader slot is Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, whenever he enters aggressive stance, the cooldown of Malevolent Lineage is reset. The Zeta is, while Rey is debuffed, she has plus 50% speed. If she defeats an enemy, all allies defeated by the enemy are revived with 100% health. In Grand Arena, all of their first order allies with Retaliate recover protection. Come on, you want that. You want that. Just, I think if you get Rey, you just want to get them all on there. Let's take a look at the last one. If all allies are first order at the start of battle, Rey gains 100% max health. At the start of the encounter, if the ally in leader slot is any version of Kylo Ren, Rey is untargetable till all enemies have taken a turn or are defeated. Whenever an enemy is defeated, all characters lose 100% turn meter, and all first order allies gain advantage. Enemies with less than full health have minus 200% critical avoidance. Whenever an enemy with less than 100% health recovers to full health, they dispel all buffs themselves while in Grand Arenas. While Rey is untargetable from this ability, first order allies can't be defeated. While an enemy is with less than full health, they can't recover protection. Whenever first order allies inflicted with a debuff, they lose 1% turn meter. Whenever an enemy is defeated, all characters lose 100% turn meter. Okay. While Rey is untargetable with his ability, first order ally can't be defeated. I think this is the last set that you apply. I think you need them all. I think this is the third one you apply. If you want to go with just 2 and 2, do the other 2 abilities and then come to this one last. She really makes that. I mean, I just got through Place of Power with my first order for the first time clean ever with her on the team. Yeah, she brings survivability like you can't even measure it. She's so great. And finally, Jocasta Nu, not yet out. It'll be another month before we get Jocasta Nu on the holo tables. She really looks like a zombie here. The way they've got her character model with the blue light, whatever. Let's go see if we can discern what Zetas and Omicrons you're gonna need on Jocasta Nu. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this thing. Okay, basic, by the book. Zeta, Omicron. Deal special damage to target enemy. If they had defense down or tenacity down, inflict that debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Gain critical damage up for 1 turn. Zeta is... Why am I not seeing this full ability? That's weird. Because she's not out yet, maybe? The Zeta is, while she is Jocasta Nu rifle, if they had defense down, exposure, tenacity down, inflict that debuff on all enemies for 1 turn, and she gains the opposite buff for 1 turn. If they had vulnerable, deal additional damage based on 10% of their max protection, then recover 25% protection, gain 5 siphon. While in Grand Arena, she's Jocasta Nu. I like the Grand Arena. On her turn, grant each Jedi Vanguard ally every dispellable buff she has for 1 turn. That seems pretty nice. That seems pretty nice. On a basic, no less. Shh. Quiet. You're in a library. Stop looking for the X's and banging the floor. If all allies are Jedi Vanguard, dispel all buffs on all enemies. Deal special damage to target enemy. Gain speed up for 1 turn. Reduce cooldown if it does not exist by 10. The Zeta is damage multiplier. Okay, while she's Jocasta Nu rifle, deal bonus damage, true damage equal to 100% of her current protection to target enemy, which can't be evaded. Then lose all current protection. She siphons max protection from the target enemy, which can't be resisted. If the target enemy is defeated by this ability, gain max protection equal to their max protection and gain she could really stack up for some protection with that. That's the Zeta. While in Grand Arenas, if they're all Jedi Vanguard and she is Jocasta Nu rifle, dispel all debuffs on all allies, set the target enemy's max health to 65. Order 65, excluding Galactic Legends and raid bosses till the start of their turn. Again, that seems pretty useful. Just saying. Jedi Archivist. He's not a leader, right? No. Jocasta Nu has 25% max protection, increased to 50 if all allies are Jedi Vanguard at the start of the battle, and is immune to protection disruption and can't be revived. At the start of her turn, inflict tenacity down against last enemy to inflict a debuff on her. If this is the second time she has occurred on the same enemy this encounter, she is Jocasta Nu rifle. They're also exposed. And this stuff gets so specific. It's so specific. Drives me nuts. Inflict defense down. Do we really need this? Really? Inflict defense down to the end of her turn against the last enemy to damage her. If this is the second time she has occurred this same enemy, she uses a Jocasta Nu rifle. They're also vulnerable. Whenever she attacks an exposed enemy, she recovers 20% protection. Well, that's why you get exposed. But I mean, seriously. Whenever she recovers protection, gain 10% offense. Rest of the encounter. Whenever she or an enemy gains foresight, dispel it. She gains deflective ward. Whenever this is the longest ability in the game. I've been looking at a lot of abilities today. This is the longest one I've looked at. This is a book and a half. Whenever a Jedi Vanguard uses special ability, I'm just gonna go. We're just going here. The Zeta is, she's immune to protection disruption. Whenever a Jedi Vanguard ally uses a special ability, reduce cooldown. It does not exist by 1. Whenever she or an enemy gains foresight, dispel it. Gains deflective ward, which can't be dispelled. When she receives, I don't even know. It belongs in a museum. Wrong movie. Wrong movie. Jocasta Nu has 100% counter chances. Ability to be alcohol. Ability reduce cooldown. I mean, probably if you're getting her, get all 3 of them. We're going to find this out in a month. I don't really know. This kit goes on for days. This kit goes on for days and has so many if-then statements. It's crazy. And there you go. I know this took us a while, everybody. I appreciate you hanging in there. Hopefully you've been able to get to the timestamps of the character you're looking for specifically, which Zetas and Omicrons you need, what order to farm them in. I hope this does you some good over time. I appreciate you. If you got to this point of the video, just type I got to the end in comments, or like a comment that I pinned that says I got to the end. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day. I'll talk to you very soon. And of course, as you go throughout life and your day and everywhere else, always remember, it's too good. That was a long video.